Soft drinks health threats. Soft drinks represent one of the greatest health threats to the human species, with 30 million diabetics and 80 million pre-diabetics. We can no longer ignore the obvious: too much sugar is killing us. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and other major soft drink beverage companies have retaliated against government attempts at reducing the consumption of soda by insisting that people have the right to make their own decisions. Furthermore, Coca-Cola insists that it is part of the solution, not the problem, in the fight against obesity. What a crock! Paying millions of dollars to celebrities to endorse your product and bombarding the airwaves with ads telling the consumer that Coca-Cola or Pepsi is the cornerstone of a happy life has completely skewed the public perception about what is normal, what is healthy, and what is accepted. The average male limits his consumption of sugar to 45 grams per day, while the average woman should only take in 30 grams per day. Instead, consume fruits and vegetables, not highly refined sugar that cause major blood sugar spikes when consumed, thus forcing the pancreas to work harder to regular levels. We are facing a major health crisis. Type 2 diabetes is a terrible enough disease on its own, but add to that the fact that it is considered a major risk factor for pancreatic cancer, the worst type of cancer a human can be diagnosed with considering the extremely poor survival rates, and we now know something has to be done. Diet sodas don't cut it. They trick the body into releasing insulin anyway, thus putting pressure on the pancreas. In a single word, soda is poison. But we live in a society where it is currently accepted, just like smoking used to be. Either the soda makers make some drastic changes to their formula, or they must end their production of this garbage and move on to something healthier. Two of the world's biggest cola drinks makers, Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, have come under fire for using cancerous caramel coloring agents in their drinks. The concerns relate to an artificial brown coloring agent that the researchers say could be causing thousands of cancers. The caramel coloring used in Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and other foods is contaminated with 2 cancer-causing chemicals and should be banned, said the Center for Science in the Public Interest, CSPI, a health lobby group based in Washington, D.C. In contrast to the caramel one might make at home by melting sugar in a saucepan, the artificial brown coloring in colas and some other products is made by reacting sugars with ammonia and sulfites under high pressure and temperatures. Chemical reactions result in the formation of 2 substances known as 2-me and 4-me, which in government-conducted studies caused lung, liver, or thyroid cancer or leukemia in laboratory mice or rats. America's National Toxicology Program says that there is clear evidence that both 2-me and 4-me are animal carcinogens, and therefore likely to pose a risk to humans. The type used in colas and other dark soft drinks is known as caramel 4, or ammonia sulfite process caramel. Caramel 3, which is produced with ammonia but not sulfites, is sometimes used in beer, soy sauce, and other foods. The CSPI admitted that any risk associated with consumption of the chemicals would be extremely small. It said the 10 teaspoons of sugar found in a can of regular cola would be more of a health problem. However, it argued the levels of 4-me in the tested colas still may be causing thousands of cancers in the U.S. population alone. Several provinces in India have recently banned sale of Coca-Cola and Pepsi. The reason? They are claimed to contain a higher level of pesticides than is acceptable in Europe. It is as if the cola companies have been adding pesticides to poison Indians. Harmful effects of drinking Coca-Cola, Coke, or Pepsi. The particulars mentioned here are merely the reproductions of the results concluded by some of the known universities around the world. It has been observed that consumption of soft drinks must be checked as soon as possible. A glass of cold water can be less attractive but is much healthier and better choice in terms of survival. It is always better to prevent than to cure. 1. Caffeine, sugar and aspartame. These products are invariably present within the sweetened soft drinks. Coca-Cola and Pepsi have been under lawsuits in some of the developed countries against using aspartame, which causes several diseases. Children should be strictly restricted from consuming products with aspartame. Furthermore, caffeine and sugar are very addictive, leading to another set of diseases like diabetes and a lifelong habit of inducing caffeine in the body. 2. Kidney failures. The sweet sugar is definitely not the reason for a failing kidney, but the artificial sweeteners are. Hence, consuming diet versions of Coca-Cola or Pepsi have proved to produce more impairment than the sweet versions. 3. Metabolism level decreases. A glass of warm water can speed up your metabolic rate but may taste awful after a workout session. A can of Coke can surely be tasty, but it really decreases the metabolism and helps in destroying the fat-burning enzymes in no time. Thus, a can of either Diet Coke or simple Coca-Cola after a rigorous workout or busy day is strictly not advisable. 4. Obesity and diabetes. Obesity was never a major problem when Coca-Cola or similar products were not introduced. But with an advent of these products, a major portion of the population is turning obese, which includes children and teenagers. Obesity is the root of diseases that affect heart, lungs, and kidney. Researchers have also been proving that obesity may be a cause to trigger cancer cells. Similarly, patients with diabetes must never touch beverages like Coke or Pepsi, since it increases level of sugar in blood by twofold. Non-diabetic persons should avoid these drinks in order to keep diabetes away. 5. Teeth and bone damage. The pH level of Coke or Pepsi is 3.2, which are quite high. This pH level decides the acidic nature of a liquid. Hence, these beverages are acidic in nature and can dissolve bones and enamels very quickly. 6. Reproduction problems. A research has shown that the cans of Coke or Pepsi are coated with such chemicals that may lead to reproduction problems with regular consumption. An ingredient used in Coca-Cola and Pepsi is a cancer risk and should be banned.